Hi guys, how are you? I want to talk to you today about the Bill of Quantities. What is a Bill of Quantities? What's the importance of it? What's the use of it? Why do we need it? So what is the Bill of Quantities? Bill of Quantities is, I know it mightn't be riveting stuff, but it's so it's vital importance. Um, how important is it? Well, without it, I know two cases last year that were about 80 grand. Uh, Coincidentally, about 80 grand builders were overpaid initially in deposits because there was no controllability, there was no mechanisms for it. And without paperwork and documentation and without a system, money out the window. So quantity surveyors push for it, one because it's an income stream, but two, it's traceability, it's dependability, it's a system of controllability. So what it actually is it's a breakdown of project preliminaries and then breakdown of actual construction elements, and then you can see demolitions there. So it breaks down into the sequence of activities on a project. Then it takes all the information from drawings and specifications and put it into those sections. Then it quantifies them, allows the builders then to use it for multiple reasons. The first reason is to tender, and then you're comparing apples with apples, rather than pears, bananas, and all sorts of other things being thrown at you. And I gotta be honest with you, that's a bit of a red flag for me when contractors send back tenders that are not uniformed and don't use the bill of quantities. And some of them have their own system, but you go through their own system, it doesn't compare, and it sends the wrong message in traceability and accountability. So then it becomes a control system, a cost control system. Like for example here, if you had €22.50 for removing the patio, and you suddenly found that there was an extra, let's say there was an extra 35 meters, now you know that your rate is €22.50, and you now know that that's €787.50 to remove the rest of the patio, the extra patio. So you got traceability. The bill of quantities should be tied into the contract, and then you got the rates tied into the contract, and then you got predictability. Now we're in hyperinflation. We're not world war, but unfortunately horrendous things happening in the Middle East and Ukraine and elsewhere. So we have disruption to, and I know it's first world problems, but we do have disruptions to supply chains and to, we have inflation, we've got oil crisis, so I'm going to do a video on that as well. Very, very, very sad. But in our own environments, in our own world, this allows for predictability, controllability, sequenceability, and systemize of documentation, activities, and costs. So it's broken down. We get a tender back, and then we can do a tender analysis because they've all filled out the same. Then we got cost certainty to a certain degree. Then we got traceability because of the variations. And then we can also come down and change in the tab and take this information down to final. So it's an interwoven information cross-pollinizes itself, and it needs to be done. I had one job recently, and the figures weren't right. The figures weren't right. Ask figures weren't right. Ask for them again. Ask for them again. The calculations were without this document controllability, we wouldn't have got back. We wouldn't have got back on the same page. And the contractors were great after a little bit of discussion back and forth. We got the right document. We got the right to dig up the right predictability. There is a misalignment due to information. And we can spot that. And we can adjust that. A small amount of money. We need to adjust. But without a system, just can't adjust that. So it's multi-layered. It's multi-layered in purpose. Dynamic. It's the central unit, near the nervous system of the whole project. And I cannot overstate the importance of it. There's different variations. Some are very rigid in their method of measurement. We have a method of measurement in Ireland. The agreed method, A4 and 5 would usually find that mightn't be done as much or as rigidly residential works do, but also as well. Sometimes send the wrong. I've got some of these that can be. This is 450. I've got some of these that are up to 1,200. Nearly makes it virtually. That's what the software kicks out. Nearly makes it undesirable. One really good builder, one of the best builders I know, Robbie, very decent, he will not look anything over 400 lines. He's not interested because for example, bathrooms, you may have tiliness, waterproofing, some of the more detailed trim will have corner trims, they'll have different coloured trims. We're only talking a couple of euros, but all these things be broken down next. Which on large commercial project, totally agree. We're not at residential. So really appreciate your time. Hope that this explains a little bit the purpose of it, the multi-layered purpose of it, the functionality, the layout. But it's not a bill of quantities. The bill of quantities is then shifted in control center for variations and valuation, and then for finance. So it's the central piece. Got to get tied in. Without that, there's no accountability. Okay, listen. Have a great weekend. We're getting close. Hope. Thank you very much. Appreciate you spending. Best regards, Rory.